Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg. I'm Village President Al Larson. In this episode, we'll speak with the Bikeways Committee about the Fahrrad Tour Von Schaumburg. Then we'll find out what's in store for this year's Prairie Arts Festival. We'll close out the program with a visit from the Schaumburg Boomers. All of this and more today here on Speaking of Schaumburg. On May 18th, Schaumburg once again invites residents to hop on their bikes for a scenic hour-long ride through town for the annual Fahrrad Tour Von Schaumburg. Here to tell us about the event as well as what makes Schaumburg such a bike-friendly community is Bikeways Committee Chair Bob Pausch. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg, Bob.
Well, it's great to be here again. It's my second time. I'm getting better at it, I hope. I was good enough to get invited back.
Now, you're pretty much of a bike advocate, aren't you?
I am. I've been biking since I was a kid.
And you probably were instrumental in getting that bike path across the tollway at Meacham.
Well,
I work at Motorola.
I worked at Motorola until I retired a few years ago, and I liked the idea of riding my bike to work all the time. And Meacham Road was kind of an impediment to me. It was a couple lanes of 40-mile-an-hour traffic, and I know that it was on the bike plan to someday do it. So. Through a few letters and some conversations with the village and other people, we eventually got that in, and now people can easily ride their bike across the tollway at Meacham Road.
Until they tear it up for the
well, the interchange construction is going to be a problem for a while, but I have great faith in the planners because of it's my understanding that the tollway and everybody has adopted Illinois' complete streets policy, which now means bicycling and pedestrians are taken into account when they do work on interchanges and bridges and roads. So this will be a good thing.
How long have you been on the Bikeways Committee?
You know, I think you asked me that last year, and I still don't remember. It's been more than 10 years.
More than 10 years, yeah. And what does the Bikeways Committee do?
Well, the Bikeways Committee does a lot of things. We, obviously from our name, we do a lot of things with bicycling. We oversee the encouragement, the education, and the enforcement of bicycling in town. We encourage people to ride. We try to help educate them in proper cycling techniques, and we encourage people to ride.
Tell us about the Fahrrad Tour.
Well, the Fahrrad Tour is part of one of the encouragement things. Through the goodness of the village and the Park District, we have a ride kind of named after, it's got a German name, and it's probably connected to the fact that we're a German community. We start up at the Blackwell School, and presumably being led by a couple of Schaumburg's police officers on motorcycles, we're going to have a long parade through town from the school here to the Prairie Center, where we're going to have a little snack.
What happens when you get to the Prairie Center?
Well, there's going to be some good music. Matter of fact, you'll hear the music as you approach and get you kind of pumped up to get here. And there's going to be bratwurst and hot dogs, some chips, something to drink, and just a bunch of fellowship with people who like to ride.
When does that take place, Bob?
It's on May 18th, Sunday, May 18th, up at Blackwell School.
Okay.
We're going to gather there in the parking lot. And
you got a lot of kids too, don't you?
A lot of kids. We encourage kids as long as they're able to do the ride safely, and because that's the whole idea. We like families. It's really a family-oriented ride. It's not a race. It's not an endurance trial. It's a fun ride.
That sure is. It sure is. Until you get someone like me who gets cut off or something and does a little header. It's happened now 2 years in a row.
Well,
I think I should be a little more careful, I think.
I guess maybe we'll have to watch you a little more carefully.
Actually, I think we're fortunate to have that tour. It gets people acquainted with the bikeway system in town.
It does, and you know, the interesting thing, if you, I'm kind of into advocacy things around the area, and I'm finding out that a lot of other towns are copying our ride. I understand that Elk Grove Village does it. Hoffman Estates is doing it.
Arlington Heights, I think, is doing it.
I believe Arlington Heights, I think, is going to have one. So I think we're a good example in that regard.
Now, what other are you an advocate for cycling anywhere else?
Well, actually, I encourage bicycling anywhere you go. I encourage you to cycle to the library or cycle to any other shopping, the little malls around the area, because it's convenient with our bike system. You can do that. And another thing I kind of like to do, and I'm hoping to do it now again this year, is put a couple packs on my bike and maybe take an overnight trip somewhere. Maybe ride up to Wisconsin, maybe spend the night up in Milwaukee. I've done that before. I've taken my bike up to Milwaukee and then hitched a ride on the ferry boat over to Michigan.
Oh, really?
And visit my daughter over there.
With your bicycle?
Yeah.
No car?
No car. I did ask the motel clerk if I could bring my bicycle in the room with me, because I felt kind of creepy leaving it outside. I figured if that disappeared, I'd be in a world of hurt.
Well, that's great. And now, do you, besides that kind of a bike event, do you go on any of these long distance trips that I think the bike club sponsors?
The bike club sponsors some bike club, and we have a very active bicycle club here in Schaumburg that if you look up Schaumburg Bicycle Club on the internet, you'll find they have a good organization with lots of rides. It's a lot of fellowship, and it's another place where you can learn how to ride in a group and learn good cycling techniques. There's also some rides organized in Chicago. For instance, on, I believe it's Memorial Day weekend, they shut down Lakeshore Drive.
Bike to Drive, huh?
Bike to Drive, and I've done that a couple times, and that is a fantastically interesting event. You got to get up real early. You leave here about 4 o'clock, get down there, and I think it's about 30 miles.
How many bikers are there on that?
I think the number is creeping up around 20,000.
Okay.
But it's beautiful to be out there, watch the sunrise over Lake Michigan, and watch all these. It's quite a collection of interesting people.
Yeah, I can imagine. And now, how many people are on the Bikeways Committee?
Well, the number varies.
How often do you meet, or when do you meet?
We meet. I think we meet now 3 times a year, and we have representatives from the Planning Commission, the school board, the community, just bicycling advocates.
Zoning Board, Planning Commission.
Yeah, and let's see. I'm trying to think of all the other ones.
You got Park District people.
Oh yes, of course. Park District people. Park District is big supporters of us.
That's a great event. One of the good things about that event, it kind of builds community with getting families out to show what kind of a system we have as far as our bikeways plan is concerned. But it engages cooperation between the village and the Park District.
We have a great partnership with them. And one thing I'd like to encourage people to do is when the Boomers play, try out the new bike path.
Oh, that's right.
There's a new bike path that goes along Irving Park Road. You can catch it off Mitchell, and you can ride your bicycle to the ballpark, and then enjoy baseball by bike.
If somebody wanted more information about our bikeway system, how would they go about doing that?
I think the best way to do it is go to the village website. We have the phone number of our transportation department there, and they can send you one of our bikeway maps.
Okay. And I know that we have almost 90 miles of bikeways in Schaumburg.
It's getting up there.
It's growing.
We got to get up to 100. We just got to find a place to put 10 more miles.
Hey, Bob, thanks for being with us again.
It's been great being here.
Bob Pausch, Chair of the Schaumburg Bikeways Committee.
Great, love it.
Thank you. Fresh air, fine art, food, entertainment. These are just a few of the things to expect from this year's annual Prairie Arts Festival. Find out more next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. This month, the Municipal Center grounds will host Schaumburg's annual Prairie Arts Festival, featuring more than 130 artists, entertainment, food. Joining us today to tell us what's in store for this year's festival, our Village Special Events Coordinator, Roxanne Benvenuti, and artist, Irene Peterson. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Thank you.
Now, how long have you been doing this, Roxanne?
Well, this is the 27th annual Prairie Arts Festival. This will be, I think, my 18th one. So for a while.
Well, tell us about the Prairie Arts Festival. What does it take to get into it? And it's a juried art festival, so
yes.
Tell us what that means.
It is a juried show, meaning artists apply to be in the show, And we hire artists to jury the show, make the selections of who's accepted and who's not. And that way we can actually scale back how many artists we take per media. So we don't have one show that just contains all jewelry artists, let's say. So that way we get a nice mix of various medium of painting, photography, sculpture, jewelry, woodworking, glass.
I understand people can purchase art for a minimum amount of money and then award a blue ribbon to the artist that they're patronizing?
There is an opportunity for a purchase award. So if you are going to be coming to the show and with an intent to purchase something, a good way to get a little free advertising is to pledge to be a purchase award patron. So and it's not a donation, you actually go out, select the artwork that you like for your home or office business, and then we award that artist with a certificate with your name or your company name, whichever you decide, and also a ribbon. So it's a way to purchase a piece of artwork and also get advertising that you did that. So
and support the arts.
Yeah. So, we'd like to have you come out and do that, but some people just come and browse and then end up buying, a special gift for somebody. Birthday, anniversaries, graduations, happening in this time of year. So
tell us about plein air, Irene.
Well, this is our 4th year. Okay. We have artists apply and register, and they come out and paint for almost 2 weeks. They're starting the 25th of April and go until May 9th. And during that time, they can paint any place in Schaumburg. So it has to be a Schaumburg location. They can use any media they want. And they can paint as many paintings as they want, but they submit one into the show.
It's outdoors too, right?
It's all outdoors. It's plein air, in the fresh air, as the French say, in plein air.
Okay. Oh, that's where it came from. So you're speaking French, though, so when you're talking
I know.
What kind of turnout did you have last year for plein air artists?
About the same as this year. We had 50-some last year, and I think we're around 50 this year again. So it's been growing, so it's very exciting. It's a lot of fun. The artists love it. It's a great time to paint with other artists, and we have great locations here in Schaumburg. A lot of people go to the municipal grounds. Those swans are a big draw. And we have a lot of beautiful locations.
Spring Valley, too, I would imagine.
Yeah, Spring Valley Farm. Everybody likes to paint the barns, and there's a lot of chickens and cows, and there's just a lot of adventure out there.
Now, what kind of awards are given for plein air artists?
We have first, second, and third cash award, $300, $200, and $100 respectively. And this year we have some gift certificates awarded through Dick Blick Art Supplies, and so those are substantial amounts.
Well, it's right here in Schaumburg, over there on Gulf Road.
Right. They've been a great supporter of the arts, so we're anxious that they're supporting us again this year.
Yeah, so thanks to them, we'll be able to award 3 additional prizes.
And they're great prizes, too. It's a $300 gift certificate, a $200, and a $100 gift certificate.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. We have other local businesses supporting with the gift certificates for breakfast and things like that, too, that we award. But it's a random type of thing for the artist. It's not actually an award for the art they produced.
Okay, tell us about the other things that are taking place while people are looking at art.
Right, so people can come to the Prairie Arts Festival on Saturday and or Sunday, and while they're there, they can come in to the building in the lobby and see the plein air exhibit, and while they're outside, they can see the over 130 artists that are participating, and certainly spend the day here because we also have food and entertainment.
What kind of food do you have?
And this year we have something new in store. We're doing a mini food truck rally. So it's going to be
mini food truck rally.
Yeah, so we're going to have the Boomers did a food truck rally last year, and it was really well received. So we're going to do a mini version. We're going to have 5 different food trucks out there to have, breakfast, lunch, snacks. And
just food trucks?
Yeah. So they're self-contained, so they're really big, large menus.
So there's no other way to buy food except from a food truck? Yeah,
there'll be 5 food trucks out there, but we'll have also 3 smaller vendors that participate because our own youth orchestra sells hot pretzels, and we also have our own Prairie Arts Foundation that sells beer and wine, and another group that's going to be doing Italian ice. But the main lunch type food will be sold from these food trucks this year. So we're anxious to see that come together because that's kind of a new interest that's
happening. Well, tell me what happens
happening.
at a food truck. I mean, they pull up and they put...
They pull up, they park, and then they serve right out of their big self-contained truck, and the menu is varied. We have a pizza truck that has wood-fired pizza, and we also have a tamale truck, a burger truck, a sandwich truck, and a cupcake truck.
A cupcake truck.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
How about ice cream?
Well, we have another vendor that's going to be doing Italian ice
Okay.
on this side. So lots of things to try. So we think that'll be a nice little attraction of itself for people to come check out the food
What
truck
about the
rally
entertainment?
this year. And also lovely entertainment. There's 3 areas on the grounds that we can hear entertainment throughout the entire day. And we call it kind of nice atmosphere, background music. So as you're strolling the grounds, you always hear nice music, but you can certainly get some lunch and sit down in front of the band and listen to different types of things.
You have a harpist, is that?
Lovely harpist coming every year. Karen Bonicheski, she comes and does a fabulous job. We have jazz, folk, guitar, piano, lots of
Tell us
really
about the
great
grounds.
musicians.
Tell us. You mentioned the Swans.
Yep, the Swans seem to, they come back and they seem to have their signets right around that time. So that's also a big draw for people to come see if they were born yet. And lots of photos being taken of them during the Memorial Day weekend. So it's beautiful. The flowers are coming up. We're anxious because Prairie Arts Fest is kind of the kickoff to the outdoor season. So we look forward to
What
that.
kind of
here in
weather are
Schaumburg.
we going to have, Irene?
Beautiful weather. I can guarantee it.
Hopefully just like Easter this year.
That would be
Hopefully we're a
great.
day like
That would be
that.
Yeah, really.
So,
And you've got volunteers. You said staffing the information booth. Is that it?
yeah, we have an information booth. People can come by with any questions about being a purchase award patron.
And where do these
CD
artists come
artist.
from? Where, you know?
They're all over the United States. I mean, obviously a bulk of them are from the tri-state area, but we have artists from all over. But
California,
sure.
all the way just to come to Schaumburg.
Yeah, well, people plan their trips across the country. They do various shows, and that's their living is to do various shows throughout the year.
So how many years plein air? Is it 3rd year, 4th year?
4th year.
Now, if somebody want information about the Prairie Arts Festival, who would they contact, and what number would they call? Or
Our website, prairiecenter.org, and then you click on the Prairie Arts Festival, or if you want information about plein air, you click on plein air.
And you'll be at the festival, both of you.
Yeah, we'll be there. So it's really a
The
wonderful
studio
time.
painters will be outside in their tents, and the plein air painters will be displaying their art inside the Prairie Center.
Okay.
So it's just kind of a flip situation of
sure.
how they normally
That's great.
create their art.
That's great.
And people should watch too. We have a program. We partner with the Daily Herald, and a really nice, detailed 12-page program. It's a beautiful program, and also companies take out ads in there. But it's a nice piece because it lists all the artists who are participating, all the entertainment, all the food vendors, and that actually gets published in the Daily Herald the week before on Friday, May 16th.
How many years has the Prairie Arts Festival been here in Schaumburg?
27. This is our 27th year.
27th year.
Yeah, so people can look for the
You
program
were
in the
just a
paper.
toddler when this started.
She was.
well, Roxanne,
It's nice to see it come
You
together.
didn't say that to me.
thanks once again.
Thank you, Mayor.
Irene, thank you. Thank you. Schaumburg's Frontier League champions are back on the field this month. Find out what we can expect this season next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. In 2013, the Schaumburg Boomers capped off their stellar season by winning the Frontier League championship. This month, the team is back for another summer of great baseball and family fun. Joining us today are Boomers General Manager Andy Viano and Coop the Boomer. Now, which one is Andy and which is Coop?
That's Coop.
Okay.
The chicken is Coop. Yes.
So, is there a Coop fan club, by the way?
Coop's got his very own Facebook page. He's very popular online. Has
Really?
a lot of friends. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, of all ages, all races, genders. He's very, very popular.
It looks like he's pretty good at what he does.
Oh, he's well. We make the expectations pretty high on Coop. He's got a lot of pressure to perform day in and day out, but so far he's been.
Now,
we don't want him getting a big
Are
head.
you Coop's publicist or what?
Yeah, hey, that's all part of the job. He's Coop's PR man and his makeup guy and talent agent.
Tell us about the Boomers and tell us how we got Coop as a mascot.
So the Schaumburg Boomers are named after the male greater prairie chicken, which a long, long time ago, 150 or so years ago, there used to be tens of millions of these chickens running around Schaumburg. There aren't any anymore, and unfortunately, actually, the prairie chicken is a threatened species, so one step below becoming an endangered species. So we thought, what a unique, cool little bird to name our team after. We wanted to come up with something unique. We wanted Schaumburg's team to be a little bit special. So we landed on the prairie chicken, and the prairie chicken has a few distinct features. One are the neck sacs that puff in and out when he does the booming dance. These feathers up on top of his head are unique to the male greater prairie chicken.
Now, my understanding is that the boomer dance is done to attract female chickens.
So what happens is they go into this area called a lek. It's like a matted down prairie. Two male prairie chickens go face to face. They sort of have a little dance off with all the female prairie chickens standing around the circle, and then to the victor go the spoils.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell us about some of the special event days you have.
Every day at Boomer Stadium is special, and it's not just about the baseball. I mean, we have all kinds of other events and all kinds of things going on. Our most popular event is probably our simplest. It's our post-game fireworks shows. We have 19 of them this year, every Friday and Saturday night. It's fireworks on opening weekend, May 23rd, 24th, 25th. We have fireworks every night as we celebrate our Frontier League championship. And then it's all kinds of things, from our Field of Schaumburg Zombies and the Field of Screams, which we're very proud of on June 7th. Correct. We'll change our name for just one day. So Coop, at least in his current form, won't be a part of that game. We also have, yes, exactly right. We have our famous world's largest squirt gun fight. That's one of our more popular promotions.
I've been involved in it. I got ambushed there. I had a bunch of kids that nailed me with water.
Next year, you got to come prepared. We allow you to bring your own super soaker.
I confiscated a soaker from one of the kids.
There you go. Yeah, so that day is a lot of fun. We say Boomers baseball should be fun if you're a baseball fan or not. It's just a time for a family to come together. I mean, where else do you get to be outdoors in the sunshine, spend 3-4 hours together with your kids, with your grandkids, with your husband, wife, with your aunt, uncle, brother, sister, and do all sorts of stuff that we make sure everybody leaves there happy.
You signed some players that have some experience.
Yeah, we've got an interesting makeup on the club this year because we lost so many great players from our championship team. It's sort of the other side of the coin when you're very successful and win, is that other places, other major league organizations come calling and want those guys. So we lost a lot of our better players to affiliated baseball, which is great. Hopefully someday soon we'll see them in a big league stadium in Wrigley Field or US Cellular.
How many signed with?
We lost 4 players. So the Arizona Diamondbacks signed 3 of them. The LA Dodgers signed one of our pitchers, and those guys are in their farm system now. So this year's team is going to look a little different, but we're very confident. I mean, our manager in 2 years took us within 1 game of the playoffs, then won a championship, and was the manager of the year. So he's pretty good at his job. We're confident.
I imagine the fact that you are able to, or these young guys were able to sign with major league franchise teams, that's an attraction for the Schaumburg Boomers.
No question. Yeah, Jamie Bennett, our manager, uses that as a recruiting tool. It's kind of what it comes down to in independent baseball, is who's got the better recruiting pitch. And yeah, part of his is we won the championship last year. Part is you can get signed to affiliated baseball. Another part of the pitch is look at the park you get to come play in, and you get to live in a host family in Schaumburg or somewhere else in Chicagoland. Come to a big city. Don't go down to Marion, Illinois or Evansville, Indiana. No offense to those cities, but wouldn't you much rather be up here in Schaumburg and playing for the Boomers? And that has worked out well.
Tell us about the concessions too.
Yeah, so our concessions are provided by our friends at Levy Restaurants. They do concessions at US Cellular Field, at Wrigley Field, at the United Center, Arlington Racetrack, Sears Center. So all the great venues in Chicagoland come from Levy Restaurants. We've got some great food and drink offerings. Have some additional craft beers available this year as that trend has taken off. Our friends at Lagunitas, we're going to have a nice big stand out there with a number of different offerings. Our great ballpark hot dogs, Ben's soft pretzels, are maybe our most popular item.
That sounds good.
Yeah, handmade Amish pretzels. They are made right there in front of you, right on site. The pretzel is probably this big. It's $5, comes on a whole plate, and those are absolutely delicious. You'll have to grab one of those when you come out to the park. Coop loves them too.
Now, is that the trophy back here?
That is the Frontier League Championship trophy. It is 21 years old rather. Every Frontier League champion is on there, and for at least the next few months, we get to keep that thing and show it off in our office. That opening weekend, when we're first 21st at home. Again, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of May. We're going to have the trophy up on the concourse, so anybody who comes out can put their arm around it or hold it over their head or pretend to take a drink out of it and get their own picture taken with that championship trophy.
Now, you loan Coop out to different organizations too, don't you?
Yeah, Coop's he's available for the right
where does he
price.
make his appearances? Tell me about his retinue of appearances.
Yeah, Coop is everywhere. In fact, he's going to be very busy for the next few months. Not just Boomers games, but all of the Village of
I
Schaumburg
saw him at a
events.
bank ribbon cutting. Not that long
Yeah,
ago.
he was at Schaumburg Bank and Trust newest location ribbon cutting. Wintrust is a tremendous partner. They're the presenting partner of Boomers baseball, so our largest corporate supporter. So Coop goes out there to see them. He does all kinds of Schaumburg Park District events. Works with the Campanelli YMCA out at their events, at all the Little League baseball openings on SAA opening day.
Andy, what do you do besides promote Coop?
Yeah,
what's your background?
So my background is in minor league baseball. I started actually as a radio broadcaster, as a play-by-play broadcaster, working for a team in Northwest Indiana. I got to broadcast from some less than exotic locales like Fargo, North Dakota, and Sioux City, Iowa, and thought maybe it's time for me to put down roots and stay a little closer to home. So started getting involved in the promotional side, in the marketing side. What's the best way to market our team? Did a little bit with designing some websites and some social media stuff, and sold some tickets, sold some sponsorships, and 10 years later, this is going to be my 10th season in professional baseball. Here I am as a general manager.
10 years and still going strong.
Yeah, still going. Hopefully at least 10 more coming here in Schaumburg.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to a great season as far as the Boomers are concerned. We hopefully we'll keep that trophy here and not let it stray too far.
That's the idea. They don't take it back until somebody else wins it, so we'd like it to be here for many years.
Now, you touch on a couple of these special event days you have. I know every day is a special event as far as why would I think otherwise? My heavens! But zombie night. So people are going to dress up like zombies and come out there and.
That is correct. We're going to have the
Living Dead.
The Living Dead will be roaming the concourse when you walk through the gates that day. We've hired a professional makeup artist, a costume makeup artist from Hollywood, who's going to come out and do a couple of dozen adults and kids in full zombie makeup all day, so they'll be wandering the concourse.
You're going to encourage people to dress up to come to the game, aren't you?
Anybody who shows up at the game will get one free wound when you walk in, so we can put either a little scar or a cut or something.
A free
on
wound.
You. Yeah,
huh?
free wound night, which we haven't done before. That'll be part of that day, and that one will be a lot of fun. It's something that, as far as we can tell, has never been done in minor league baseball
And
before.
may never be done again.
And we'll see how it goes this year.
Living Dead. How's Coop going to? Coop can't be there, can he?
Well, Coop might be there, just maybe not looking quite as alive as he does right now.
Okay. Hey, Andy. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, we have to wait. Good to see you again, Coop. It's always a pleasure. Mostly. That'll do it for this edition of Speaking of Schaumburg. Join us again next month for an all-new episode. Until then, I'll see you around town, and so will Coop and maybe even Andy.
Absolutely.